Paul is a senior lecturer in the T.C. Burns School of Law at the University of Queensland. His research and teaching expertise are in the areas of disability rights, anti-discrimination law, workplace health and safety law, and corporate social responsibility. He is widely published and has a strong international reputation, having held visiting fellowships at the National University of Ireland and Syracuse University in New York. He has previously practiced as a lawyer and continues private practice work today as a special advisor on industrial relations. Outside the law, Paul has previously been a representative athlete with a disability, competing in the 2000 and 2004 Paralympics, as well as the 2002 and 2006 Commonwealth Games. Paul has a remarkable story to tell, and we're very pleased to welcome him here today to share some of that story with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our guest, Dr. Paul Hopkins.
Now, 25 years today, in October, 12th of October 1993, I was hit by an electric train and lost my eyesight. So, today's a rather significant day for me. So I was thinking, well, what do I want to do? What do I really wanted to say today? I ran through a bunch of ideas and discarded most of them, ended up with 25 years and still at a sprint. Now, 25 years ago, I was hit by a train. So 12th of October, 93, big day. Now, coming out of hospital, I was told, take it easy, relax, slow down. It's going to take time to do everything. And I took no advice for that. And I strongly urge you, do it safely, or actually don't, just go for it. I didn't take it slow. And later on when I started university, people told me, it's a marathon, take it easy, step by step, and I went, okay, cool. And I wanted to sprint. And I sprinted through it, and I kept sprinting. And I keep sprinting now, through I did a master's and a PhD, and as you heard, a Paralympics, Commonwealth Games, I actually sprinted at that properly, so that was justifiable to sprint there. And I've published a lot and worked a lot. Just recently, I'm publishing a lot with a guy from Harvard and now overseas. All this it's all prestigious, all fun. Also, have a lot of roles. I sometimes think I'm similar like that Greek god, the evil one that had 50 heads and 100 arms. I've got so many hats on my head. But what's really coming down at 25 years blind? What are some of the big things happening for me now? I've got a 3-year-old. Honestly, that's transformed my life to an amazing extent. Now I'm a dad, which, and everyone's a dad, but quite frankly, that's probably the most important role I've got these days, even though a significant percentage of the population are dads. So that's trying to find time to have to spend with him, plus continuing with my other roles. But my suggestion is don't sleep. But anyway, what do I really want to say today? Well, so what? I've done a few things, but what do I think of being blind? Wake up and I think, well, that's really what it is. 25 years of being blind. What do I think of blindness? At different stages of that journey, I've had different opinions. But what is it? And what is blindness? Well, it's a range of abilities which the medical profession categorise as blind. That's essentially what it is. That's the category blind. It does mean I can't see. But some people are tall, some are short, some can sing, some are like me. Some people can dance, others are, again, like me. Some are male and some are female. Some people are indigenous, some are white, some albino, very white, some are African American, some are Aboriginal, huge variety of human experiences. Now, there's, just say yes, we all are diverse and it's just ability diversity. That to some extent, that's true. But that doesn't, you cannot get away from the fact that adversity is always confronted by people who are diverse. Now, another way to say it, which actually rhymes, is diversity brings adversity. And it does. To try and delude that is not reality. The diversity adversity you've come up on a daily basis. Not big things necessarily. There's the employer who will not give you a job because you're blind and those things. But there's also a lot of positive things going on. Just not today, but yesterday night, 1 o'clock our time anyway, I got called about it at the time, and which is good fun, but it's for home in the morning. I was up a bit. It was Donald Trump signed into law the Marrakesh Treaty Implementation Act, which gives access to more books, and that has a big impact on us here. With Section 121A of their Copyright Act will have an impact for us. This Donald Trump, I use that example because in terms of equality and promoting human rights, he's what you would call an outlier. So there's domestically the NDIS. How do we use it? How do we maximise that? We can do a lot of big transformational things. There's a lot of things we can advocate. If you're discriminated against, bring a lawsuit. As a lawyer, you think that's easy, but there are people out there who will help you. If the first letter comes from a lawyer, that can make a difference. And other times it's better not to start with the law. But the point is, we have to advocate. That takes a lot of effort, and often we don't have that. But within our personal life, there's a lot we can do. Beyond if you think about it, managing your impairment with society, we see today we've got guide dogs and other supports, but there's a lot of small stuff that adds up. The PDF at work that's not accessible, or it's only partially accessible. The website that has 300 words up top and 200 words down the bottom, and the content that you want to read in the middle. So every time you click next page, you're stuck page arrowing down for 30 seconds a minute. You think that's not much. Do it 5 times a day, there's 5 minutes. The capture challenge, when you're trying to sign onto a website, you've got to click on sound please, and it doesn't work, and you spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes until you give up and just go, they don't really want me. Or the coffee cup, which has moved. Here in the child thing, my child, who tends to move things around for me, hopefully. He likes playing with things. I think 1 minute's there, 1 minute's over there, and so I'm scrabbling around for 5 minutes. Before I get angry, I realise I go to my son and pick it up and thank you very much. And so those things all add up. So those all things add up, because I can't see, I'm a bit slower at things. 20 minutes a day, let's just say on average, 20 minutes. Well, add it up, that's 121 hours per year. 121 hours, it's a lot. That's 2 weeks work. If you want to look at a normal, work week, say 60 hours, say that's a normal work week for a lot of people. If you travel for work, I do a lot of travel, I've got to be either super organised and ring ahead, which I've dedicated myself, I'm guaranteed going to do next time, and unfortunately I don't always do that. My trip to Canberra just the other day was a 1-day trip, and I did manage to be more organised there, but not because I have to do it next time. It costs a lot of money if you're not, because you have to pay taxis and you stay in a more expensive hotel, not because you want to, but you need support. Now, how do you manage all this? Well, be organised, which takes time to do, get support where you can, work longer hours, and take less annual leave, which is what I do, which is not great because you can get burnt out, and friends do, but you just manage. But being efficient, that's probably the big one. Another one is ask for help. Some people don't like to ask other people for help. You spread it around, but be nice. I actively go out and seek people at work. I be very complimentary to the admin staff, thank them for their help, because a lot of people don't. And be really generous, really buy the chocolates, literally do that. And it comes out with other benefits. We had a room reshuffle. I have one of the best offices, and I'm not that high ranked, but I've got a magnificent office. The person who restructured it was also, a lot of people don't like it because they do the finance and they were not very nice, and I was always really nice. And maybe there's a factor. But being disabled, they also help me, but be nice and ask for help. Now, who do I turn to most often for help? Who do I ask the most for help? Well, he's sitting over there with his furry feet, with my forepaws. Who offers me the most? Well, Sean offers me an awful lot. I think he's asleep at the moment. He's probably actually dreaming of, I gave him a beef bone the other night, so he's probably dreaming of that, and me patting him at the same time while he chews his way through that. But he offers so much. Like yesterday, I had a meeting across campus. I work at the University of Queensland, which I think it might even still have its own postcode, but it's a huge campus. And with a white cane, I might have got there, but I didn't know where I was going. I was just punching into that area, and then I asked someone for help, and get to that area and ask the next person for help, and then narrowed it down. And I had time to kill because I made sure I had time, and it wasn't stressful because I got there. I couldn't have done that without my dog. I used to be a great cane user, but there's no comparison for me. Not only does he give me mobility support, but when I'm down, when I work very hard, very long, incredibly, and I don't give myself much at all anymore. You go there at home and pat the dog. and the dog licks your face. You know, they don't ask anything in return except a pat. You know, very therapeutic. During hard times, he's a friend, and there's hard times. When he's there, he's always there. He's my best friend. Now, you know, I don't think you can underestimate the value emotionally. I mean, we've been doing a lot of work recently with at University of Queensland around helping the role of assistance animals, and a lot of the focus was on mobility and access, and we've just got a paper coming out now talking about the therapeutic aspects of dogs more generally in the workplace. Because what happened was we looked at it and said, hey look, this is providing huge benefits to people with disabilities, not just the mobility but the therapeutic, the emotional support, the calm, you know, ability to succeed. And people also, they see you differently when you have a dog than when you don't. White cane's handy because you can fold it up and stick it under you in your back pocket when you're on a plane. Dogs are a bit harder with that. But you know, so there are other flip sides. But the point is, for me, my dog, it's like getting my eyesight back. And I said that when I forgot my first dog, my second dog, and my third dog. It's a magnificent change. And I think being a lawyer, I like to think the law can get it right sometimes. Now, the Disability Discrimination Act had an amendment a few years ago, and Section 8 defines what is an assistance animal in terms of discrimination. And what it does, it explains that the assistance animal or mobility aid, so whether it be a white cane or a living accommodation like Sean, my guide dog, they are part of me. So if you discriminate against me because of my disability, you'll go, that's the same as if you discriminate against the dog. Or in other words, it does not separate the dog from my disability. Or in other words, because I'm disabled, it doesn't separate the dog from me. The dog is me and I am the dog. But to me, it's like my arm. My arms are attached to me. I wouldn't leave my arms behind. I wouldn't leave my dog behind. And that's the level of extent that the support it gives me. To me, it's like climbing a ladder without arms. The dog gets me around. So I can't emphasize enough how much the dog does for me. And I'd like to, we've thanked everyone, and we include the excellency and the politicians, but I really think today, for me, the trainers, the puppy handminders, and those that enable them through financial and other supports, they're doing a magnificent job, which is enabling so many people to have dignity, to have exercise their human rights, education, work, and transforming lives from the ground up. So I'd like to thank you for giving me your ears for a few minutes and taking the time to be here today and support Guide Dogs, the institution, in all their great work. Thank you very much.